Hello. So I thought that I'd shoot a quick follow-up video to the power tubes video I released last week. Some of the comments I got were around how the old tubes sounded better than the new tubes. Just to show how the new tubes sound when dialed in, I'm going to play a clip for a neural DSP riff challenge that I entered recently. One of the other bits of feedback that I heard was that some people would like to see a bit more of a detailed account of what frequencies differ between the tubes. When I run an EQ on the old tubes sidechained to the new tubes, so we'll have a nice perspective of what the EQ spectrum looks like. So just to have a bit of a scientific look at the differences between the old tubes and the new tubes. Here's my Studio One session. So we've got the old tubes tracks for the various tracks that I recorded with the old tubes, and then we've got the new tube tracks. On both I've got some volume automation. That's how I handled the switching between old and new in the previous video, but I have disabled that for this. So you're not going to be hearing this more than likely because of audio setup, but I'm going to play the old tubes on the left, new tubes on the right, and use FabFilter Pro Q3 sidechained to show us the frequency curve for the old tubes and an overlay of the new tubes. Let's just go to full screen. So then let's play. So right away we see where some variation comes in between the tubes and these red bars. So some of the biggest differences are in the low end, where on average it does appear as though the new tubes definitely have a fair bit more low end. The new tubes obviously being this overlaid red line, whilst the main part of the graph are the old tubes. So here we definitely see some extra low end in the new tubes, and this I think is where we manifested in having a slightly muddier or duller sounding tone in the previous video, because I didn't dial in settings specifically for the new tubes, so we just had a lot more low end. We've also got some upper mid variation, where I think for me that's definitely coming through as a lot more saturation in the new tubes. So I think there's a bit more compression, or to my ear there's a bit more compression and a bit more saturation in addition to low end. So ultimately with the dialed in tones, the new tubes come out as my favorite. So we'll next go through a playthrough of the next song, the Neural DSP Riff Challenge that I put together. We'll have a playthrough in that and let you see how the new tubes sound when dialed in. And then just a reminder to like and subscribe.